what's up, everybody? It's your man DJ FX. I am in the studio, my home, my office, and we're about to go ahead and get this show started. So, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask you guys to do, if you're on the YouTube channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification button so you'll be tuned in as soon as MC Love starts broadcasting. All right. So let me do my little refresh here on my other screen here so that those of y'all on YouTube can be able to chat with a brother. All right. So let's let me turn that volume down also because I don't want that to be heard. All right. So that's done. All right. So without further ado, I already did the intro to the show. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in my guest. And he goes by the name, well, a lot of y'all know, I know him by Facebook. I haven't had an opportunity to meet him, but this is the closest thing to meeting him. And I was honored that he accepted my invitation to do the show. And he goes by the name, and you'll know him once you see him with that little stick in between his fingers, you're going to know who this brother is. He goes by the name of Swoll, y'all. What's going on, Swoll?
I can't call it. I might spoil it.
I can't complain. I cannot complain. First, I just want to say thank you for being a part of the show. I know it was almost like a last minute thing because I've been wanting to have. It's been a minute. I wanted to have you on the show,
right.
And I was like, you know what? This is a perfect opportunity because I know you was doing a little recovery from an injury, right?
No, that injury happened in college. I had double knee replacement. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was December 1st of last year, and it took me 3 months and a day to fully recover to get back on the bike.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back on.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people said I shouldn't have got double knee replacement. I should have got one done and then the other. But it didn't make sense to me and my doctor because it's the same pain. So one knee versus two, I get it done and over with.
Makes sense to me. All right, Swoll. So this is MC Love. Your first time being here, and I hope it won't be your last time being on here. You are the president of the Boldest Riders Motorcycle Club. Let's talk about how long you've been a rider.
Oh, wow. 1978.
Okay.
I started riding in 78. One of my childhood friends had an idea to go out and get these mopeds, and they were the Pook Magnums. They looked like motorcycles, but really they weren't. But they did like 40 to 50 miles an hour. And we took it from my hometown of Roosevelt, Long Island, all the way to Montauk. That was like 110 miles. At 40 miles an hour, that took all day. So we started off that way. And, later on, I got a Gold Wing 1000, rode that around. Then I took off for a little while after I had an accident. And I guess 85. Then I got another motorcycle in the 90s. And I've been riding ever since.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So you said that's a long time though. So I ain't gonna ask the age then. So
I'm proud. 59. I'm proud to be 59, man.
Hey,
not a lot of brothers get there.
Say that one more time. A lot of us do not get there.
Yeah, man.
You're right about that. So I know this because I was going through some of your pictures so I could select for the promo. And I noticed that you came up in the ranks in the club.
Yeah. I went from Sergeant Arms and moved up and became president in 2014. So in 2006, I'm also one of the founders. So we started out the club in 2006, November 21st. And then we moved forward. And in 2014, the president had stepped down and asked me to take over. So we put it to a vote. And I was voted in 14. And thank God that I had the brothers that I had working with me, because the first day I was like, everybody's going to do their job, and Nasty, who was the vice president, who a lot of people know from the club, and not only the club, his little special punch that he makes. Um, you know, he's always been there as the vice president, and most of the guys in the club, my whole board is solid, and you're only as good as the people you work with. So
Right.
that and that's been the main focus of our club is trying to make sure that everybody does their job.
Well, keeping somebody, and I like the way you say that everybody do their job, which means that everybody's got to have their hands on deck. Everybody's got to participate. Everybody has a role, an important role to play in the club.
Yeah, you can't do it by yourself. There's no way. I mean, most of the time people will tell you that when you have an organization, it's only like 7 people that really work and the rest just play and have a good time. And that may be true in a lot of things, but with us, we try to get everybody involved, whether you're a board member, whether you're a brand new member, whether you're a prospect, or whether you're a hang around. If you're going to get in this club, you have to know that the workload is shared among everybody. So when it comes to, whether we're going to do an event, go to an event, I expect, first of all, my board to ride. Everybody who's on the board, from the president down to the road captain. I know a lot of people don't say road captain is part of the board, but he's part of that. I expect them to ride. I expect them to ride 90% of the time. If we're going to a function, if we're doing something, you got to show up and you got to put in your work. And when it comes to doing this type of work, whether it's community service, whether it's just going to another person's functions, like we just went to Men and Women Who Love to Ride, beautiful event. Roofless Riders is coming up. We're going to that. State Burners, we're going to that. These are things that are out of town events that, it costs you money to go, and you're contributing not only your money, but your time and effort. So, it really makes a person in our club think about what they're doing there. If they're not riding, then what are you doing there? So if you're putting in that work, you ain't got to worry about it.
The most important part is you got to be riding.
What's the sense of joining a motorcycle club if you ain't gonna ride?
A lot of people don't understand that. They don't understand the fundamental of having a motorcycle versus having a motorcycle.
Yeah. You can have a motorcycle in your garage, and it looks pretty there. As Bobby Boucher would say, yeah, sure look pretty. But when you take it out and get a little rain on it, and you
right
about, oh, my bike can't get wet, or the system is going to blow, or all that stuff, what good is having it? If you can't enjoy that puppy from here to 1,000 miles away, then you have a motorcycle.
Make use of it. I know I rode my bike, Pepper. I've been riding her, and I'm at a point now where she's unfortunately I can't ride her now because she needs a stator. But okay. I'm debating if I want to go ahead and just trade her in and get something else.
Your baby.
The dilemmas. I know dilemmas.
Yeah.
But so you've been riding for a while. How long has the club been in existence? Has been established?
Yeah, since November 2006. Yeah, we've been around.
All right, cool. Now, going through your process from sergeant at arms to now president, what was the, I guess, the drive or the motivation that you, I'm not going to say you felt like you earned it, but that your then president saw something in you that said that you can take this throne?
When we had our conversation, he was more like, well, I come from a background of supervision. I also come from a background of being a second vice president of a union. So understanding the format of how things are done in an organization was natural to me. So when he came to me, he was like, you got leadership qualities, this and that. And, I'd rather you take it than anybody else. So we put it to a vote, and the membership put me in that position. Whether or not they saw the same thing or not, I don't know. But I've been here since. I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably got one more term in me, and that's it. That's the maximum I'm gonna do. I already told everybody, look, I can't do it forever because I want people to step up. The best thing about having a motorcycle club is seeing the growth of it. And I want people to be able to move up and take leadership positions because I don't care if you're a prospect, a hang around, or a new member. Your goal should be to try to move up in the club or to be as helpful as possible. And you get that from learning. And any president or vice president or board member who doesn't want to teach you, that's not right. They should always be trying to groom members to become presidents or vice presidents or treasurers, because, you can age out a club. If
Mm-hmm.
you become the president for 30 years and nobody else took it, now you see your membership is down to 12, 10, 9, people might not want to join you because you're aging out. And, the best thing you can do is put new blood, and through attrition, people are going to leave, new people are going to come in. So when new people come in, like our membership right now is growing. One reason, we got a clubhouse last year. And
Yeah,
clubhouse,
I saw that picture. That was nice.
yeah, man. And clubhouses always stimulate growth. So we got like 5 prospects now, maybe 6 coming through. The screening process we do is not, okay, bring them in. We believe in quality over quantity. So the grooming process and everything is there for everybody to try to make the club better, because the only way you're gonna make the club better, I may run out of ideas, but that
Right.
fresh young guy, he may have some new knowledge. I got guys that's coming in the club, teachers, um, um, social workers, stuff like that, and they have different ideas about what should be done. I got one guy, Big Dog. Big Dog has like 20 jobs. He's retired from one, but he does 20 different things. He's coming to me almost religiously with different things. Like he popped up a t-shirt on me the other day. I'm looking at him going, well, that's nice. So, you can't, you should not hold back progress. I don't care how good you feel about being a president or anything else. If the club is doing well, you're doing well.
Right. Right. It's just like when when we had that one president, man, he was doing it real good. I mean, I kind of liked his look and everything. He
Right, right,
was the right shade. So
right.
you know, and he was not above lifting people up,
Nope.
recognizing something in somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So, my next question for you, sir.
Uh-oh.
Seeing how things are now on the set, I don't know how it is in New York,
Mm-hmm.
but it's pretty much worldwide. If you could change, if what has changed from back then, the back in the day with clubs, to what's going on now. So the question that I have for you, if there was something you could take from back then and apply it now, what would it be? And if something that is happening now that you think that would really apply back then, what would it be?
I'm not adverse to parties. That being said, back then when you had a party, it was usually your club partying by themselves in their clubhouse, having a good time. And if you got invited, you had this little card that said you could come and all that other stuff. And the clubhouse was really a private matter. And I understand that a lot of people feel, in New York, I can tell you straight off the bat, the amount of money you'll spend on rent if you're renting is enormous. New York is high. So I understand that people need money and revenue in order to have a clubhouse and maintain it. But at the price of diluting The meaning of a clubhouse, which is for the members. It seems like to me that they're sacrificing that to just let anybody come in their clubhouse and do whatever they want. And there's been a lot of incidents where people came in clubhouses and did dumb
Right,
things, and
right, right.
it turned into a problem. That being said, like I said, listen, whatever your hustle is, I'm not stepping on nobody's toes. That's yours. In my opinion, a lot more riding, a lot less partying. I believe in that. I mean, if you're gonna have an event, like I said, with men and women who love to ride, ruthless riders, even state burn is coming up. You get a hotel, and everybody comes around. That's a great event. And of course, Black Tigers, they support 5 different charities out of their event.
Hmm.
So that's my thing about it. What I would bring back, wow. um, the peace and harmony of the set. If we could get rid of, like, all right, I'll give you for instance. I just went to an event, and one of my prospects was getting on the elevator, and the vice president was too. And I was like, hold the elevator, I'll be right there. By the time I get there, there's somebody accosting the prospect who's not in my club. And they were upset because they said the prospect didn't use his name as prospect. He used his name as his name.
Hmm.
So I'm looking at them and I'm going, okay, so where are you from, first of all? They told me where they're from. I said, so that's not even in this region, this area. I said, you are aware there's traditions and bylaws and all that stuff, right? So now, if all that is true, do you know what my bylaws say about that? So now she jumped. I didn't mean to say she, but she jumped. She jumped up and said, well, we crazy. And then I said, well, that's not what you do to other people's prospects. You don't approach them like that. Saying that to say this, everybody needs to just relax a little bit, enjoy the bike life, and stop getting in a beef over stuff that really doesn't matter. What I do in my club is none of your business, and what you do in your club is none of mine. So, club business is club business, not your business. So that's what I would put back in.
Is your club strictly males or co-ed?
All male.
All
We
male.
we tried female in the club, and it didn't work out. It didn't work out. So listen, there's nothing wrong with having male and female in the same club, but for us, it didn't work. And once she was gone, we rewrote the bylaws, we amended the bylaws, all male traditional club, and that was that.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And speaking of females, there's been a rise because I was trying to have Portia Taylor on,
Whoa.
and she that's the one I tried to get her on here at least twice, and every time it's conflict of schedule. She's been so busy. I even tried to work around her schedule. That's why I was going to have this show on Tuesday.
Right.
That's not my normal show time.
When you're a ground pounder like she is.
Right. So with the rise of female riders is coming up these days,
Mm-hmm.
what is your opinion on that? What praises or what comments, or I'm not going to say negative words, but what's the word I'm looking for?
What's the positive and negative about it?
Yeah,
Okay.
There you go.
All right. There's nothing prettier than a woman on a bike. There's nothing better looking than a woman on a bike. And you got some women out here that they pound. I mean, they, a group of them just did the Texas run, going around the state of Texas.
Yeah.
And I mean, to watch women work them bikes, and I mean, I've seen women that can really lean on a bike, bigger than mine, smaller than mine, get in the turns, keep their lines, do everything that any man could do and better. So
Mhm.
to me, women who are riding motorcycles just enhances the set. It just
Right.
enhances the set. As far as the negativity, like men, like women, both same thing. You get into conflicts, and some of those conflicts are caused by gender. So, you may have a female who doesn't like another female, and those kind of conflicts exist, regardless whether it's on a bike set or at work. So you're not going to be able to skirt that away. You got to have to try and deal with them as those conflicts occur. And if they're in the club, same club, it's just as bad. So you have to, and you have to be sensitive about the differences. You can't turn around and say, "Oh, who cares? It's a woman," stuff like that. Well, you're supposed to care because all of us got sisters and mothers,
Right.
so and daughters, and if you don't care, a woman has a way of making you care.
Say there's a way. There's a
Yes,
will,
sir.
there's a way. I'm sharing the link, the video link on my Facebook pages,
Mhm.
and in some of the group pages I'm associated with.
Okay.
For those of y'all who just well, before I even do that, I want to give a shout out to Angie Bivens, who's watching on YouTube. So I want to give a shout out to her.
Angie
Uh,
Bivens. Why does that sound familiar?
uh, she's a friend of mine on Facebook, and that's the only thing I can tell you. For everybody else who's watching it, and you tuned in, you're watching MC Love with DJ FX with my guest all the way from New York, Mr. President himself, Swoll, the swollen man, the guy himself, the president of the boldest Riders Motorcycle Club up in New York. Now it's just y'all's club, right? Are there any chapters?
No, we just have our club. It's funny because I got asked that question a few times by different people. Why don't you start a chapter here? Why don't you start a chapter there? And it's not so much we can't start a chapter there. It's that being a standalone club, and you get approached by OMCs or other people, and they want to kind of like tell you what you can and can't do. You have to be strong enough to stand up to that. And I'm not saying that OMCs are bad or anything like that. They're just other bikers that are the top of the food chain. I mean, when it comes to riding, they're the professionals. I'm like the novice, so
Right.
respect that. But at the same time, starting a chapter in some other area, you have to be on point, and everybody has to be on the same level. And if you're not, things can happen. I've seen people get their rags taken. I've seen people turn around and walk into some area they ain't supposed to be in. So, but it's all how protocol and tradition, and you deal with whoever you're dealing with. So,
Right.
It's happened to us. And fortunately, we know how to deal with those situations. We know how to, we know protocol and tradition. I stay on top of that with my guys all the time. Like, if you don't know protocol and tradition and you go out there and something happens, that's on you. But you're
True.
supposed to know this, So
So now, real quick, somebody else just popped in and said hello. Gia King, she's from DHCS. I guess
oh,
she's a part of a social club.
I don't know.
All right. Well, she said DHSC. I'm sorry.
Oh, DHA.
But she said,
Yeah,
but
that's
she
a
says,
social club.
she says hello.
Oh, tell her hello. All right. That's a social club. Yeah.
Yeah. So, being a biker, what is being a biker means to you versus a biker who's part of a motorcycle club?
Well, it's all a mindset.
I'm sorry, she's from Diamonds and Heels Social
Oh,
Club.
okay. Diamonds and Hills in Jersey. Good club. They came out, I believe, last year. Yeah. Yeah, there's some good women. Those some good women.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, it's all a mindset as far as being a biker being versus being a biker in a motorcycle club. Um, you know, being a biker is easy. You hop on a bike, you ride. I consider you a biker. Being a biker in a motorcycle club, you have obligations and responsibilities, and you have to know what those are. And like I said, if you're in a motorcycle club and you don't know the tradition of a motorcycle club, that's bad. If you don't know protocol, that's real bad. So those are the things that really separate people. How knowledgeable you are, because you're going to meet people all over. If you're in a motorcycle club and you're traveling, you're crossing state lines, you're going to meet people, and you need to know what you're talking about. So the people that I've met over the years, from as far as Key West to Maine and across other areas, they just enhanced my knowledge, and you don't get that from sitting behind the screen and Facebook and all that stuff. You have to get out there and you have to exist in the set, whether that's going from here to another state or going down the block to the clubhouse or wherever. But to coexist, you have to turn around and you have to meet people and talk. That's the way you acquire knowledge.
That's what the fellowship and brotherhood is all about. It's the communication. It's the camaraderie. It's the stories.
Yeah.
It's it's the embarrassing moments, the funny moments.
Wow.
It's a collaboration of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you over there doing your stogie. I got to do my water.
Well, I also got my whiskey too. I gotta have a little whiskey.
Now, let me ask you this also, because I understand you are a retired police officer.
No, corrections. I was a
corrections officer.
Yeah, I was a captain in New York City Department of Corrections.
So, as an officer of the law, knowing some of the things that happens on the bike set, how did that work out for you?
Oh, easy. I'm retired. All right. So this is funny because this is where people get it a little misconstrued. You have MC and you got LE. So when you see the LE and MC, that means Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, which we're not. So when you retire from corrections, unlike PD, you're no longer, okay, in New York City, you're a peace officer when you're on the job, which means you have the power of arrest, the power to carry a firearm, handcuffs, all that. When you retire, you no longer have that authority. So you are no longer able to say, stop police, you can't stop crimes, you can't do none of that stuff because that's impersonating a police officer. So once you retire, that's it. That's the end of it. So there's no conflict. The majority of my club, I'll say 90% of them, if they were in corrections, are retired. And then we got civilians, plenty of civilians in our club. So, people get it misconstrued, like acting like, oh, you're law enforcement, this and that and other thing. Well, no, that's not true. That, that's I'm trying to get this sun out there.
Yeah, you got that sun coming. The sun's shining on the Swoll, man.
The day that you turn around, you go, what the heck? All right, and now I got this.
Now your mirror.
I got that in the way, right? Oh man. All right, maybe I can.
There you go, right there. Right there.
It's going to be a little crooked, but once you retire, that's it. You no longer play that role of law enforcement. And the funny thing about it is, I was on a radio show in Queens maybe 4 years ago, and some guy called in and was saying, nah, y'all the police, this and that and other thing. My man, far from the truth, because when you retire, you cannot do none of that stuff. So there's no conflict with that. I mean, I've been around people doing that stuff all the time. And quite frankly, the percentage of a correction officer making an arrest is 0.7. Most correction officers Once they get out of that jail, the only thing they want to do is go home and get some sleep. So, I mean, the overtime, I don't know if you know this, but overtime is a big essential to corrections. So making your money is based upon overtime. It's usually forced overtime. So you wind up making 140, 150,000 a year, and you turn around and you want to go home and get that sleep and be with your family. So when it's time to retire, the last thing you want to do is play a cop. I didn't want to play a cop when I was a correction officer. So why the hell would I want to do that in the motorcycle set?
Okay.
And that's
All right.
my members. The majority of my members are like that. They don't feel like that's a necessary thing.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up. So it's just the mindset of knowing how to separate the two.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't take work home with you. The last thing you want to do is go to a job for 16 hours or your 8 hours and then come home and have that. No, leave that alone.
I know that's right. All right, I'm going to take a quick pause real quick. Y'all who tuned in, y'all watching MC Love with DJ FX with my man Swoll, president of the Boulders Riders up in New York. We're going to come right back right after this, y'all. Don't go nowhere.
Go have some fun.
All right, y'all, we are back. You tuned in to MC Love right here at MC Love Vision. And with me all the way from New York. What part of New York are you from, Swoll?
I'm from Brentwood, Long Island.
Okay. Got my man Swoll, president of Boulders Riders Motorcycle Club up in New York. Real quick, C-Dub of, she used to go formerly White Chocolate, but she's C-Dub now. She says hello.
Now that's a ground pounder right there.
Yes, she is. She was part of the that women's ride that we was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she said she just wanted to make sure you knew it was her.
How couldn't I know? Funny story. We had a run to Cigar International in Pennsylvania. You know about us and cigars. So
right.
We ran out there one day, and it was just like a regular weekend. And there she is with her husband, sitting up there smoking a cigar, and them two ride together. That's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, I believe they met and got married in Ocean City at Men and Women Who Love to Ride, and they got married down on the beach and the whole nine. And to see them
with their bikes,
right? And just to see them, doing their thing, man. That's some motorcycle love right there.
I know, right? It is, and they was part when they was here in the DMV area.
Right.
They were part of members of the church I go to.
Right.
And we've been tight since it's been way back. We've been tight, and we still in contact with each other, even though they no longer here. They over in the West Coast now.
And they over in the mountains in Denver, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere out there. And so she said that was awesome. It was great seeing you guys at the Cigar International.
Yeah.
And big shout out to William. William just came on in here. William, what is it, Valentine? Valentine.
Yeah. That's one of my old partners from back in the day. He's the vice president of a motorcycle club out here in New York as well.
Kevin Coleman just got on as well. Man, I hope y'all are. Look, I'm going to look at my screen real quick. Hold up, Swoll.
Now, Kevin Coleman is Nasty, my vice president.
Oh, is he? Okay. Yeah. Well, listen, all of y'all who's on here, I hope y'all subscribe.
They better
subscribe. I hope y'all share. I hope y'all hit the notification button. I want this thing to go viral. I want MC Love to be a platform where all of y'all want to come on here and have fun. You heard? Clean fun. I ain't talking about people behind their back. I'm going to talk about you on the screen. That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, riding the way you ride and having now you're up in New York, so New York's traffic is a little different than here down the DMV. How do you guys maneuver, and how is the rate of because people unfortunately lose their life in the motorcycles. How often does that happen there? You know.
We've been very fortunate. The one thing I'll say is if you ride with us, you're probably safe. Probably safer than you're ever going to be. People who have rode with us, they complain a little bit about the speed because when we're getting to where we got to go, we're a little faster than normal. But at the same time, my guys know how to open up traffic, allow somebody to get in, allow us to get out, sliding through traffic. Somebody saw us on the Jersey Turnpike and said, y'all look like a snake going through traffic.
Mm.
So our system of riding in New York is probably a little different than anywhere else. But at the same time, riding in New York, you're going to get good. You're going to get good at traffic, slow traffic, fast traffic, white lining. We just came back, like I said, and we was caught in the belt. Now, there's a highway called the Belt Parkway. I don't care what time you get on it. It's usually bumper to bumper. So you're going to find a way to get through that traffic, whether you do it legally, because white lining is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to get around that. So it just so happens that we've become pretty good and efficient at it. And, there's a guy from Steel Horses named Vision. He taught me something about white lining. And I mean, this guy could white line at 60, 70 miles an hour through traffic. And,
Ooh.
He gets it in. So he taught me a thing or two. And it's always good to learn from somebody because that's a part of prospecting. You always learn it. So in New York, it's bad. Traffic, potholes, bad drivers, aggressive drivers. It came down to a few times that we had to hold traffic up because somebody tried to hit us. So when that happens, we're probably going to hold traffic up, which means that we'll get in front of everybody and line up across the highway, and you're going to do the legal speed limit. You're going to do 50.
That'll make sure everybody sees you, huh?
Yeah, so I mean, we've done it. I mean, but when you run across that guy that just got something against bikes, and they play these games, like you get on the shoulder. In some states, it's legal to get on the shoulder and ride. So we get on the shoulder, and now you pull over to block us from going. Don't get mad because I'm on a bike and you stuck in traffic and I'm finding a way around it.
How about that?
But people play these games, and in New York, you handle it.
Yeah. You kind of scared when you said you handle it. It's
Listen,
you handle it.
You don't
handle it.
Yeah, I don't challenge.
You're gonna have a flat tire. We're gonna handle it. The window gonna get busted. We're gonna handle it.
I don't challenge cars. I would never take my bike and challenge a car and stuff like that. But you got to stop sometime.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're getting to the point now. Name one of the. If you have a choice, or you can do both. Name one of the most embarrassing moments you had since you was a rider, or one of the funniest moments you had since you've been a rider.
I don't know what highway it was on. We had a sister with us that wanted to travel with us to go. It was somewhere in Virginia. I forgot where it was. And we're booking. And I realized we missed the turn. So I just stopped everybody and we made a U-turn on the Parkway and went around a barrier. And it was funny at the time, but it was dangerous.
Uh-oh.
And you know, she took it like a champ. But after that, she told everybody, and I mean everybody. They was coming to us, "Oh, you're crazy," and this and that and other thing. And you know, it was funny to me. It might not be funny to y'all, but every time you think about doing something on a highway and you see bikes, sometime a bike is going to do something different. You know, you know, it's two wheels, and you're thinking, I can get by, I can do this, I can do that. But you know, that's what happens. Now, as far as the most embarrassing thing, boy, dropping my bike. I mean, we was in Ocean City. I think it was for Imperial Bikers. They have a black bike week as well. And man, I think I had a Suzuki Boulevard at the time, '05 Suzuki Boulevard. And as usual, you think you put your kickstand down, and here I am getting off the bike, and the bike starts to go, and I pull it with my arm, like trying to keep it up, and my elbow popped right out.
Wow.
Talking about having to ride home with one hand. Yeah, it popped right out. So, you know, that was kind of embarrassing, being, you know, you're supposed to know about bikes and all that stuff. That was embarrassing. You know, the other stuff I don't want to tell you about because that involves other people.
Like, well, go ahead. It's only streaming live that people can watch over again. Go ahead, call out their names. No,
if I tell her nasty, it's a whole list.
Now I'm going to ask you this: knowing the things that you know now, what would you tell the younger you, or what advice would you have for those who have a desire to become part of a motorcycle club or just being a biker itself?
The best advice I can give somebody who wants to be, well, if you want to be in a motorcycle club, you got to find a good fit. That's the main thing. I mean, the hang around period is the best tool you have. So if you're gonna join a motorcycle club, hang around them for a long time. I don't care if it takes a week, 2 weeks, 6 months, whatever. You want to find a club that you're going to be involved with, and they're going to be involved with you the way that you want to be involved with them. Don't join a party club when you want to ride your bike. Don't join a bike club, you know, that wants to ride, that want to party all the time. Don't go nowhere. And then on the same note, there's a pecking order. You got to know whether or not you're at this level or that level. You know, we know OMCs and 1%ers are up here. So if you're going to play in that area, you got to know what you're doing. If you're going to play in the 99 area, if you're going to play in the RC area, if you're going to just be a social club, you know, and there are social clubs that ride bikes. But the best advice I can give you is hang around. Make sure that that's the place you want to be, because club hopping is not good. If you've been in 6 clubs in the last 5 years, that's not a good look, you know. And it's not like presidents don't talk to other presidents about, yeah, he was in my club or she was in my club and this and that. And I know that some of it is a numbers game. You know, you want to get a member because, you know, whatever. Right. But at the same time, that might not work for you. You know, you may be, you know, we had a guy in our club prospecting. He did 11 months and like a week, and he was 3 weeks away from getting full patch. And he did something so dumb and so stupid. We was like, come on, man. And that was it. He didn't make it. But, you know,
wow.
The obvious thing is, like I said, hang around a club first. Make sure it's a good fit for you, because the prospect period is just that, to make sure that you're a good fit for the club and the club is a good fit for you. Now, as far as the younger me, what do I tell myself? Probably don't buy a Harley.
What's wrong with Harley?
Oh my God. I I'm saying that as a jest, but man, the money you can spend on them things. I
Ooh.
mean, come on, bro. I mean, I'm on my second Harley. I got two now. My first one I brought when I retired, so it was my gift. But I put 18,000 into it, just in upgrades, parts, and everything else. And then I got this one, and you walk in at 30,000, you walking out at 45. So
Mm.
you got to be ready for that stuff. And I mean, telling the younger me, you know, yeah, I probably would have stuck with a cheaper bike if I was younger. But being that I retired and I was able to do all these things, it was good. And
Right.
I did what I was supposed to do. But a younger me, yeah, I'd probably not buy a Harley. And not until you make sure that you got enough money in your pocket to do it. Because the peer pressure on it is you're seeing all these guys with nice bikes and they got all kinds of stuff on it. And you turn around, you're like, all right, so if I don't pay this bill this week, I could buy that part and put it on.
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yes, sir.
And Peter never gets paid.
He's still there.
Right, though, right? Big shout out, real quick. Sparkle is
Oh,
online. She said hello.
Sparkle must be driving her big truck. She got a big rig.
This is pretty big. I got there's 10 people watching us right
Uh-oh.
now.
Uh-oh.
That's pretty big. I enjoy that. Thank you all y'all. Thank all of y'all
Yeah.
wherever you are. East Coast, West Coast, up south, down north.
Up
You know
north,
what I
down
mean.
south.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought about it for a second. Hey, y'all know what I mean. Dyslexic
Yeah.
is caught in. I should have asked this question earlier. When did you start riding motorcycles, and what was the motivation or inspiration to get you to ride motorcycles?
Wow. I think like I said before, my friend he started me with a moped. And I just was a fiend for it. I mean, after I finished with the moped, I went to like a MP5 or whatever that thing was, and then at the Honda, and then I got a Gold Wing. And I think the motivation for it was not just because it looked good, but the feeling when you ride.
Mm-hmm.
I tell people that it's indescribable with somebody who doesn't ride. If you get on the back, like my daughter, she rides with me every now and then. She's in college now, but first thing she said when she got home, we need some daddy-daughter time on the bike. So,
I
you know,
saw her on your computer before we started streaming. I saw her.
yeah,
Then you left the inside, came outside, sat in your car. I was like, look at this man here. Okay.
yeah. So, there's nothing like that feeling on two wheels, man. And you can't describe. You could just try to describe it to somebody who doesn't ride, but that feeling is just there. And once I got that bug, that was it.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Um, so let's see. So you've been riding for a long time. That inspired you. Um, what's the next question? How did you come up with if it's a clean version, how did you come up with your name, Swoll?
Okay, so back in my younger days, maybe in my 30s, I had big arms. I played football and all that stuff, and always been into lifting weights. So somebody walked by me, damn, why are you swollen? Swollen? I don't know, and I can't tell you the other version. So
Right. Well, that's what I kind of figured that, and I appreciate that as well. um, so, any events coming up with you guys? Do you guys do events?
we're gonna do our events are very personal as far as community wise. So sometime in August we're going to do the back to school book bag haircuts and all that stuff for the community that we're involved in Rosedale, Queens. And that's the only event we really have this year because, like I said, we just got the clubhouse, so we're trying to put things together as we speak. But we do more like I said, we ride a lot. So we got runs every month except for I think July and September. But and we ride through the winter too. So that's basically what my club is about. We ride a lot. So the charity work that we do is small, and we do one a year so far. If we ever have any big event or anything like that, we already know it's got to be in a park in Queens. So, but we'll let you know. Definitely let you know about it. But like I said, yeah, we go to most charity events out of state. We at Jersey, we've been there a few times. I think Newark Nights is having their picnic in somewhere in the bottom of Jersey, and that's what we do.
Now, do you guys? And it just dawned on me to ask this question. Like the riders, the female riding that goes on. Do you guys support those things? Like, do
Yeah,
you
always.
guys? Because they all it's even though they say it's all women. I'm pretty sure there's some guys that ride with them. I was just wondering if most if clubs participate or support those rides as well.
We have no problem supporting anybody doing anything. So if there was a female ride coming out of New York going somewhere or something like that, and we wanted to go, we would go. So that's not an issue. I think that's a beautiful thing.
That's what's up. Kevin said we ride.
That's that dude right there. He's in Delaware, and we have our meetings up here. He rides right up here and have the meeting every single time. Winter, spring, summer, fall. So
wow, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm all questioned out now, man. Anybody you want to shout out? Any shout outs you want to give? Acknowledgments?
Shout you out for having a platform like this for people to get to know other clubs, other people, other things going on in the motorcycle set. Because of people like you, the set gets closer, and that helps everybody out, and it gives us a platform to tell people what we're about. So if anybody has questions about us and whatnot, they can get answered on here from you. So that's a big shout out to you. Everybody else,
thank you.
They know who they are. They know what they do. My club is my club brothers. They're just people that I love to be around and stuff. So that's it.